As a fellow Zack, thank you. Zack Snyder has finally made a movie that most people will like. The story is very simple. There's been a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, and the United States has managed to keep the zombie outbreak in one city, Las Vegas, and they're planning on nuking the city filled with zombies in 4 days. And Dave Bautista was a survivor of getting out of Las Vegas, and he's hired by some shady people to go into a casino and get a vault open and take all of their money out before the nuke destroys Las Vegas. Movie written and directed by Zack Snyder, and I'm finally happy to say it. I like a Zack Snyder movie, and that's Army of the Dead. I've always liked him as a person. He seems like a super cool guy. I'd love to hang out with him. Fellow Zacks, we got to stick together. I've just never cared for his movies, and this movie has everything that's great about his filmmaking, and everything that he kind of overindulges into is not a problem in this movie. I think the key difference is this movie is funny. It's kind of a comedy, sort of, but it does not take itself very seriously. It knows exactly what it's doing. It is a ridiculous movie, and the opening sequence, or the credit sequence, I was sold immediately. It's slow motion, of course, it's Zack Snyder, of what happened in the Las Vegas outbreak with the Viva Las Vegas playing. And it tells a massive story within one song, hyper stylized, ultra bloody. It's wonderful. It's so well made. And the best part is this movie doesn't slow down. It keeps with that style. It goes a little less comedic and silly as it goes further down into the depths of zombiness, but it's a solid movie, and I'm so happy to say that. This movie is like a hybrid of all sorts of genres. It's obviously a zombie movie. It's a heist movie. It's kind of a family drama, a family comedy, a buddy comedy, all mixed with this like post-apocalyptic type deal, even though it's not really like the apocalypse was saved. And it absolutely sets up for sequels. There's already a prequel planned, and there's actually two prequels planned. There's a cartoon on Netflix that is about the entire how Las Vegas all the people managed to escape and keep the zombies inside. And then there's a prequel about the German character. I'm not going to say his name. He steals the show. I'm pretty sure if you watch this movie, you're going to witness the birth of an A-lister. Matthias, the guy who plays the German like code cracker, he gets into the safe, steals the show. Anytime he's on screen, he's wonderful. And he's directing the prequel, where he also is the lead actor. I'm very excited for that. Another big story about Army of the Dead is Chris D'Elia, who was essentially fired from this movie. They were already done after allegations came out against him. And instead of just cutting out his character or whatever Zack Snyder originally planned to do, he got Tig Notaro, another stand-up comic, to get digitally replaced. And luckily, they pulled it off. There's only one shot, a very quick shot, of where it looks very obvious that she was digitally put in there. But every other time, it's completely seamless. I was hardcore trying to find like, oh man, like, does that look bad? No, it looks really good. It is astonishing that they managed to pull that off. And this movie has something for everybody. It is, as I said, everything good about Zack Snyder is in this movie, and everything bad isn't. It's not a big deal. It is very long, but it doesn't feel its length because it's so entertaining and action-packed, and there's a lot going on. He loves to shove as much story and storylines into 2.5 hours as he possibly can, and this is no exception. You get the backstory to zombies, like specific zombies. The zombies in this movie aren't your typical, like, mindless, that's my zombie impression. There are some typical zombie dummies, but there's They're called alphas, and the alphas are horrifying. And we follow the alphas for like a third of this movie. Like we learn a lot about them with no dialogue. It's just them grunting and screaming, and it's kind of hilarious, but also really scary. There's a couple plot holes that kind of bugged me at the end, but again, this is a zombie movie. Who cares? It's you get what you pay for, and you get it. This movie is bloody. It's violent. It's pretty funny. It's entertaining. The performances are great. Not only did Zack Snyder write and direct this, but he was also the cinematographer, and he loves his gigantic lenses. So you got your Dave Bautista taking over like a third of your screen, and then the rest of the screen is completely blurred out. It's that in almost every single shot, which is my guess of how they managed to get Tig Notaro to not stick out, because she's not in focus for a lot of it. Army of the Dead is 8 alpha zombies out of 10. This is a fun movie. If you're into zombie movies, you'll like it. If you're into heist movies, you'll like it. If you like Zack Snyder, you'll love it. If you don't like Zack Snyder, like me, you'll like it a lot. And I am genuinely excited for the sequel, the prequel, the 15 things that they're going to do. This is going to be a really big series for Netflix, and I'm looking forward to it. Can't believe I said that.